Okay. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Hello, everybody. Good morning. This is Linda West with Living Live with Linda. And I'm going today, I have my screen up there because I want you guys to see what we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about going live and profiting. And I am with Molly Mahoney. Yes. You got two singers in the house. Hey, you know what? I think at some point, Molly, we should do a duet together.
I love it. Let's do it.
Okay. So now that we got that out of the way. So I want to introduce you to my audience because you are so amazing. You've made a huge impact in my life in such a short period of time. So because of that, I wanted to introduce you to everybody. And then we're going to talk about how you went from $0 to $50,000 in 3 months, which, as I like to share, it's not about the money. It's about the impact. And Molly is coming off of a cold, so she's been coughing for weeks. So let's, bear with us. Okay, so you guys, if you have any questions, please post them in the comments. We can ask Molly the questions. Literally, we have 30 minutes and we're done because I got to get out of here. But Molly is the prepared performer. I met her at an event. It was one of those 3-day events that you go to. And I met her at this event. And my friend Infinity, shout out to Infinity. Yeah. Infinity says, you got to meet this lady. She does what you do. And I was like, okay, I have no idea. Okay, I'll go over there. So I went and I met you. Of course, we're very busy because she was a sponsor of the event, and she had all these people coming up to her and stuff. And so literally, I think I talked to you for about a minute and a half. And that was it.
Like, actually shoved in the corner, like on the side. We were like way over. Like, oh yeah, nice to meet you. As I was like typing and doing all kinds of crazy things. It was insane.
It was crazy. But it was awesome. And it was like, just like I could feel the energy and the synergy immediately. You might not remember me because there were 300 people.
Oh my gosh, no, like I said, I remember exactly where, I had that giant light. I remember 1,000,000% exactly where we were and how the whole thing went.
Oh, that's so sweet. But it was so cool. And that was like the start of this relationship. And then I started following you and watching what you were doing. And I was like, this lady's so awesome. And I just love what she does. I love your personality. It's a lot of fun. You're like broad and out there, right? And I love being broad and out there. And it's something I've just recently discovered. And I think that's why it really attracted me, because I've been on this transformation journey for 2.5 years. And when I saw you and I was like, I can do that too. I can be me, more me.
Yeah.
In public. And that's like that authenticity thing we talk about, right?
Totally. And that's where you'll actually be able to connect with the people that you really want to be connecting with and start to see the results that you actually want instead of bringing in things that you don't want, because that can happen too.
Oh, wait, there she is. She's drinking her water. Let's see. Oh, McKay says Molly is a joyful Broadway show.
Oh my gosh. I love you, McKay. Hooray.
And all in yourself. Like you're a one-woman show. You're a one-woman show.
Multitasking. I'm sure it's all over the place right now.
So it's funny. So on Molly's video, she drinks water. She is like, oh yeah, I got to drink water. And so every time she picks up her water bottle, it's like this thing goes off in my head and says, oh yeah, I need to drink water too. So thank you for the more water drinking.
You're welcome. I'm trying to get better myself.
No, I'm not going to do it again. I refuse. So what I wanted to, first of all, let's go on. So I know I see McKay is here. We have 8 people on. And so you guys know Molly. She's always telling you, share, share, share. So if you find that there's going to be value in this, of course there's going to be value in this. You got to share it out to your audience and let them see what is the wonder that Molly Mahoney is, right? I just love her so much. So Molly, so I know that we have a short period of time. So let's tell your story quickly. Where you came from, and can you do it in 3 minutes or less?
Yeah, let's see. Can you put a timer on? Do you have a timer? I don't know.
Yes,
okay, so I started as a musical theater performer when I was 8 years old. And then from there, I did musical theater my whole life growing up. I ended up teaching dance and singing and that type of stuff. Hey, Patty, joy is my absolute mission in this world. It's my favorite thing. So I ended up working in Las Vegas, on cruise ships, in New York City. I had an awesome full performance career. And while I was on tour with Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the Broadway musical, with a flying car, my husband and I got engaged. And we decided we did not want to live in this little teeny tiny apartment in New York City. We wanted to be able to raise kids and all that. So we moved back to California. And I started this plan of my 10-year plan was to launch a dance studio / yarn store. I was going to call it Kick in Knit, where I'd teach crocheting, singing, and dancing. And then also my husband and I could have our own wine bar with a jazz band playing in the corner.
Yeah, that's a perfect fit.
Right? However, I quickly learned how difficult it is to have a brick and mortar. And I was like, oh, I am actually going to do this online. So in 2013, I launched my company, The Prepared Performer. I was mainly serving vocal students, musical theater performers. However, I always knew that I also wanted to help business owners to be able to have more of a sense of stage presence. I'm going super fast. You asked me 3 minutes.
Well, I did say I'm fast talking and lots of learning. So go.
Okay. So at that point, I started slowly shifting it. Kick and knit, right, Young? So good. So
wait, kick and knit. 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome, McKay.
So at that point, I started working with municipalities actually, and I was teaching the recreation department how to be able to connect with their community members, which was super fun, really cool. But I was driving all over. I think I was working in 5 different places at that time, driving like a mad woman around Orange County. So I launched my own online course teaching performers how to cure the starving artist syndrome. Yay! And through that process, I learned it is very important that you package all the awesome that you have to offer and you deliver it to a group that actually needs it and wants to pay for it. So I quickly learned that starving artists are not likely to invest in something to help them to boost their career. And I had an awesome pilot. I sold 15 spots. Then I went full force and I sold a whopping 0 spots in my course.
Aww.
And I can make jokes about it now, but it was honestly one of the most panic-inducing moments of my life.
Did you do a lot of crying?
I was thinking about that yesterday, and I don't even know if I had the ability to cry about it. I was just so freaked out. And I remember this heavy sinking in my chest that was like unlike anything else I had ever experienced.
Yeah.
I had taken away so much time from my family. I had spent so much money on coaching and programs and things like that, and it just was not working. So I went, right?
Oh my gosh. I don't even want to mention how much. Okay, go on.
But I do have to say that everything that I had invested in that business beforehand helped me. I still used everything that I had, the tools, the coaching, all of that. I just had to switch that target market. And Linda, I have a question. How many times have you worked with a coach or been in a program where they've told you to do some sort of specific thing and you have not done it?
They call that shelf development. I have lots of it. Yes.
So there's this shelf development part, but what I'm talking about is maybe a little harder to admit.
What?
And
we froze. Okay, we're back.
Oh my gosh, when did we freeze?
Okay, so it was you said the part that we don't like to admit.
Ooh, maybe Be Live was like, don't admit this.
Don't admit it.
But because of our fear or because of our inability to see into the future, or to trust, sometimes we actually, even myself, and I know I have clients who are in this space as well. So if any of you are watching or students are watching, know that I've been there, but I'm going to share something with you right now. Sometimes we just don't do what we're told to do.
Yeah.
And we create these stories or excuses. Have you done that before?
I just posted some. Be Live is really mad at you right now.
They're being very tricky. Did you notice the update with Be Live today, though?
No, what?
Oh my gosh, I just took all these screenshots because I just did a video and the whole sign-in process is different. It looks super cool.
Oh.
It's like, okay, instead of saying there's a whole bunch there's like different languaging. It's all really odd. Like, I love it, actually. I'll show you guys after. But Yeah. So maybe they're just like going through that transition right now. So you said you just posted something about that?
Yeah, about are you making excuses? Yeah. We all do it, right? But
and
they say
sometimes
my reason is, but really it's my excuse is.
Right. So sometimes we end up having very good reasons, or we're committed to a cause. And with that, I was committed to the cause of the starving artist. And I wanted to make sure that I was out there to like support them. And I knew this was something that they needed. And I had so many people who said, Molly, this is not going to work. And I was like, yes, it is. So, yes. It's just important to recognize that through all of that, sometimes you have to learn those lessons on your own.
Yeah. And I'm just like, so you went way more than 3 minutes, but wait. So really quickly, I learned that lesson and it cost me $70,000 in 4 months to learn that lesson, that the cause that you're after is awesome, but you have to have financial backing,
Right. Or you have to find a way to get in there to prove to them that this is what they need.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're not at the time, it's not the right time or place to do that. So I think I'll come back to those people later. But in that panic attack mode, I switched everything around, launched a course that I had not developed yet, and it worked.
It worked really well.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I'm so happy. And like Kayla said, I'm following the flow and things are coming in and things I'm supporting with so many more people. And now I have loads of artists who are in my program. It's just, it was packaged a little bit differently so they could understand it.
Right. And that's so important. So why don't you share with us, like we're going to go, let's see, we got 19 minutes. That's more time. That was fast. Good job. So I wanted to talk about views versus engagement, because you talk about this all the time. It's not about the views. It's not about the views. And people get so hung up on like, there's this many people viewing. And then I want you to tell about the million.
Okay. Oh shoot. I should have sent that photo.
So I know I tried to find it, but I wasn't able to find it quickly. So.
It's on my personal page if you want to look there.
Okay, I'll go look there, and then you go talk about views versus engagement.
Okay, so, oh my gosh, how cool. Be Live just showed me that you made me the main part of the layout. I didn't know that you saw that on this side.
That's cool.
I love it. Okay, so people talk about views all the time and like, oh my gosh, this video has had 500 views. This video has had 1,000 views, which is great. But the problem is the way that Facebook tracks that view is like, it could only be 3 seconds of your video. Or when it says that you have a reach, it just means that maybe it flew through their news feed, which is awesome. It's like a little sprinkling of fairy dust. But what you actually want is people who are commenting, people who are opting in for a free offer, people who are looking to have more of an actual conversation with you. And that's where you'll start to get the real meat of the connection that will allow you to lead that into a conversion of a sale or a collaboration, or even of them sharing your video. Okay, Linda, let's talk about Facebook Live. What's actually happening? Because I can't see what's happening when we get lost. We're just freezing or what?
Yeah, we're freezing. It's dumping us into the green room and then I have to bring us back up.
Oh my gosh. But here is a great learning example. So sometimes with a tool that we're using, or sometimes with
Oh, this is so funny. Okay, so we're apparently having some technical difficulties, but we're making it through it. Okay.
Am I in? Okay.
Yeah, you're in.
Okay, perfect. So what I was saying is the more that resilient that you are when things go wrong, the more you can just jump back up and laugh at it and be like, this is actually pretty funny, or this is part of the whole ordeal, right? Facebook Live, every second is an adventure, Joe says. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's actually, sometimes people will allow those technical things to stop them from sharing because they're worried they're going to get so overwhelmed or whatever. But
Yeah.
But that's actually a moment to be able to teach people that things are going to go wrong and you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Right?
And so like, yeah, that's true. And, you know, like I brought every time I'm like, really, I'm like, Be Live, you're killing me right now. You know, hey, Smalls,
Yes.
you're killing me. Okay. So I'm back. I'm waiting for Molly. Here she is. This is the best. Okay. Here we go. We're back. Okay. I have no idea where we left off.
I'm sure we're playing hide and seek.
This has been funny. Okay, well, it's funny for me. I don't know about you guys, but lots of energetic interference right now. I hope that's a good thing. You can repolarize your computer by doing a figure 8 with your hand in front of your computer. Okay, let's do it, Molly.
Okay, let's do it together.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, Kayla, bring it on. Okay, I think we're good.
I also have learned this one from my friend Rhonda, which is...
What? What did you do? Let's do it. Okay.
Like at events, she told me if I'm feeling like an attack of energy from people, because sometimes I actually only one time I felt that way at an event, not even during all the craziness of Blast Off where we were, but there was some weird stuff going on, and she told me to do to like clear energy away.
Okay.
All right, so let's get ninja. What do you want to know?
Okay, so I know we have 14 minutes, but I wanted to, we're going to do another interview with Molly probably next month or, somewhere.
Awesome.
But anyway, let's talk about your free masterclass. And I actually have a link to it because your masterclass is tomorrow. Tell everybody what your masterclass is about. Oh my God, break out your notebooks, people, because this is going to blow your mind literally.
Okay, are you ready?
Go. We'll see. Let's see if Be Live is ready. Go.
Okay, so we are going to have this masterclass, and this masterclass is actually different than any other masterclass or webinar or whatever that I've ever seen because it's more than just the juicy information that I'm going to bring you on when, I don't know if we're going to repurpose this, but the masterclass is tomorrow at 2:00. So if you're watching this on the replay, there is another masterclass coming up, so you can still get access. How are people going to get access to this, Linda?
Oh, I put a link in the comments below.
Okay, Linda, I love you.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Okay. But here is, Linda, you have been to my masterclass 7,000 times, and you have sworn to never say those words.
Oh, did I don't know if I raised my right hand, though.
All right. So we're going to start this masterclass right now, which is never say the words, click the link.
That's right.
Instead, what you should do when you're doing a live video is say, comment below with the words masterclass and we will get you access. Because here's why, and I'm going to give you this ninja strategy right now. So we're going to talk more about this on the masterclass. But as we were just talking about, video views don't matter. The engagement is what's important. Right. So, and they matter, but they're not quite as important. So what happens is, learn out loud. What happens is when you say comment below to get access, the organic reach of the video is skyrocketed because Facebook sees that people are commenting. Facebook doesn't care when people click on a link because what it does when they click on the link, they're going somewhere else. Facebook wants people to stay on Facebook. So when they comment below, Facebook's like, yeah, we want engagement. We want people to stay here having that conversation. It also creates little micro commitments. So your audience is like, oh yeah, I want that thing. And they're going to comment. And so it's like we're having this conversation. So the more that you guys comment, when we say, hey, comment below, the more we're having that one-on-one conversational feel. And then we can later attach it to a bot. So Linda and I are actually going to take this video and we're going to attach it to a messenger automation tool, which will send you a link for the masterclass right here within your messenger on Facebook. Super cool.
Okay, so we did have a little bit of a break in sequence there. Oh, Joe, you're so awesome. Joe put masterclass. Even though I screwed up, you guys are putting masterclass. You rock, you rock. Yay.
You didn't screw up. So actually, one of the secrets also is that
I'm going to delete that comment, by the way, when we're done here. So. Okay.
Well, okay, no, but you actually, so it's good to add the link also. And you just want to cover all your bases. So I usually go back and add the link into the description as well. So everyone's covered. So even people who don't hear us say that, they can still get the link by clicking it. They can still get access by clicking the link.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes.
I don't know if everybody heard the description of the masterclass.
Well, apparently they did, because McKay says your description of the masterclass sounds so amazing. My mind is already blown. Yeah,
I love it. We would love to have you guys there. And then in addition to the masterclass that we do, there's usually 2 other live Q&As that happen in there, and then some other little fun videos that I add in for extra bonus. So it always has a life of its own. It's never, so far, it's not just like a standalone fake live thing. It's actually live, and I love it. It's so fun, right?
It is. It's going to be. And we've got some fun things we're going to announce. Let me see. We got 9 minutes. So I want to show this picture. Now, wish me luck, because I've never done this before. So let's see how this works. I'm going to share my screen, which is going to be...
We are learning on the fly. So sometimes when you have to reconnect it to Facebook, you actually have to do that beforehand so that you can get those photos. So maybe that's what just happened there, or no?
Yes, that's what just happened. Okay.
But it was the theme of the video. This is like perfect, because that's what we were already doing.
But trust us. Trust us. Okay. Molly had one video that reached over 1 million people. It is so crazy. And on that, she had almost 39,000 video views and 2,700 reactions, comments, and shares. So now, Molly, first, that was amazing. You were so shocked when you got that, but that's not how it started, is it?
No. And it's cool because I don't know if you're able to bring the photo up. Are you able to or no?
We'll see if I can figure that out while you're sharing about that, okay?
Okay, so what I did in order to get that reach of 1,000, I think it had over 1,000 comments. I had loads of people opt in for something on that as well. And I should actually track the sales, because I actually had sales specifically come from that video too. But the main thing is that I did, I've been growing my messenger automation list. And so I've implemented this system where I announce the video before I go live. And what I did with this one, which I haven't done again in the same exact way, I need to do it. But I actually did an ad. I only spent $50, and I did an ad with a photo that's announced that I was going to be doing this live video, because you can't actually promote a pre-recorded video while it's live or before it's live. But what I did is I did this ad that sent them a link via Messenger to the live video. It was like a sneaky way to boost the engagement on the video. I haven't actually taught this before anywhere. It's not even like a full module on the Camera Confidence course. I need to add it as an actual course in there. It's part of the process that I teach in my program, but this specific method worked so insanely well. So I can't wait to try it again and see if we can hit that 1 million reach again. Super.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know that you can't advertise a pre-scheduled video.
Yeah, so if you look at it, you can't actually click boost.
Okay, so I'm trying this. Okay, so behind the scenes, I'm actually trying to see if I can get to the picture so you guys can see it. But so let's so briefly go ahead and tell us like what they're going to learn on the master class. I know that there's so much for you to teach that it can't all possibly be taught in just the masterclass, of course, but what she's going to teach you, you're going to walk away with so much information. So go ahead and share what they're going to learn in the masterclass.
Yeah, so you're going to learn things like how it's actually sometimes better to have no one watching your videos live, which is crazy. You're going to learn how to create a brand ambassador so that your video can actually speak for yourself. You're going to learn my awesome system to get more engagement in just 20 minutes a day, which is super cool. And what are some of the things that we're going to learn? I don't have them written down in front of me, but it's going to be crazy. You'll learn how to basically attract a flood of leads who are ready to throw credit cards at your face. My favorite tricks for engagement that are not salesy weirdo videos, because sometimes we just talk way too much about our products or services. So I'm going to give you some super cool tricks with that too.
Well, I can't find it, so I'm just going to throw this up there instead. Why not?
That works.
Motivation. So what keeps you motivated to keep on going and doing the stuff you do? Because you are tireless. And I know you get tired, but you are tireless. Like you're like a freight train. And I'm so excited to be on that train with you. What keeps you motivated?
So I really have this firm commitment to a 3-part why. And what it is it's a why based on these 3 different categories. One is the thing that motivates me for my family. And what that is creating a life of adventure for my kids and my husband and I. So if it's only about working your booty off, who cares? But if it's about working your booty off strategically so that you can create some sort of magic in your life. And for me, it's a life of adventure. So that's number 1. Number 2 is a financial why. So having a really specific thing that you want to bring in financially into your life. And sometimes people are like, oh, it's not about the money for me, because we have these stories that we tell ourselves. But if it's not about money for you, who could you support with that money, right? So for me, my actual behind the scenes specific financial why is I really want an apartment in New York. My husband and I were there, and I lived there for 8 years, and I love living in California, but I want to be able to show my kids what it's like to live other places and to be able to go back and forth. And then the third part is a global why. So some sort of reason that you're working that's going to change the world. And for me, it's all about joy. And my whole life, that's kind of been the way that I've lived, and what motivated me was just to create smiles and celebrations everywhere I go. And I really think Facebook Live is like an insanely powerful way to be able to do that. You got it to work.
Ah! I did it. Oh my God, it took work. And how do I show it by itself? If I go solo, it'll still be able to hear us. Okay. So go ahead and talk about that real quick. It's like all the stuff on there. It's so amazing.
Yeah. So when stuff like this happens, when I'm tired, I'm like, wait a minute, these strategies work. Look what I did. I affected all of these people, right? I think it's crazy that I have 49 angries on this post also. But do you remember this video, Linda? There was one guy who was like, I was talking about not being a salesy weirdo and how if you are a salesy weirdo, you're more likely to get reported for being spam. And there was this one fine gentleman who was like, I'm going to report you anyway. I was like, okay. And then Linda was like, report her for what? So I don't know if those angry things are like because I was fired up about something and everybody was like, yeah, I agree. Or if it was because of that weirdo who was doing that. Anyway, so fun, right? So look at all this. You can see. And the cool thing is there's another photo that I shared that proves that this is actually all organic reach.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't boost this video. I didn't do any ad on this video, which I probably should at this point because it did so well. But I think it's cool that it's like all organic.
And that's a good point. So like, do you want to mess with it? Right? Because it's all organic. So do you want to mess with it? Okay. We got 2 minutes left. So I see Kayla. She says she wants to do it for her book launch. You totally got to do it, Kayla. It's, this is so amazing. McKay, she's in the Gunsmoke thing. That's the like, I got no views. Right? Right.
No, that's the actually what I talk about when you go live and all you see are the tumbleweeds because you're in that ghost town. And so you hear that. I learned the song officially. You hear. There
we go.
Like the whistling of the tumbleweeds.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you want to, you want to learn how to get out of those tumbleweeds. And that's one of the things you'll learn at the masterclass. And then also the camera confidence too. Of course, that's just a different version. That's a different thing we'll talk about at the masterclass.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you guys, so this is what's so cool is because Molly and I are like, our energy is the same. They're like, our mission in life is the same. And that is to empower as many people as we possibly can and help them put themselves out there so that they can be seen and heard, so they can live a joyful life, so that they can share joy. Like we both have the same passion and mission. So why not do what we did? And that's like, join forces. Like, so I have joined Molly's team, the Prepared Performer. And it's so exciting. As you can see, I still have some more prepared to do, but I'm doing the performance part.
And that's actually so important because moving into action is really the only way that you're going to fully understand those things, where you're going to fully get all of those strategies.
Yeah, and that's a good point, right? Because, the prepared performer, well, you can still be a performer without being prepared. At least put yourself out there because you're going to find the bumps and the bruises won't come until you get out there and get those bumps and bruises. So you've got to get yourself moving, get out there and do it. And we would love to see you at the live masterclass and just really, okay, let's do like 1 minute wrap up. Why do you do live masterclass as opposed to the pre-recorded like almost everybody else does?
Man, so important because I really think that there are so many ways that we can remove ourselves from human connection right now. And we can create these things that feel like a human connection, kind of with a pre-recorded thing, but there is nothing like that actual energy that happens when I'm there delivering something live and there's people responding and it takes on a life of its own. So I love the ability to have that one-on-one conversational feel with literally thousands of people. Even if they're watching the replay of this masterclass, it's still, every time we do it, it was created live. And there's that new synergy, that new magic. And I find that it shows my audience that and the same thing for you and what you're doing, right, Linda? And the same thing for everyone else who's watching. It shows your audience that you're real, that you care, how you respond when things go wrong. And there's nothing else for boosting that like, no trust factor and really showing that you are the real deal.
Yep. You guys are going to learn much more about that on tomorrow. And that's at 12 noon Pacific time. Right? Yeah. I think you said 2 earlier. So just correct that. It's 12 noon Pacific time, Wednesday, the 2nd of August, masterclass. Put masterclass in the comments below and I'll send you the link to it. I can learn. But it's a matter of putting these things into practice. So you can hear Molly all day long and not apply any of it, or you can hear her and apply it and then see changes happening in you and your business. We will see you then, Kayla. I know, McKay, you'll be there, right? I know you guys will be there. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at noon. Molly, tomorrow at noon. I got to head out. I got an appointment. And I know you got a big 2 weeks coming up. So,
oh, yeah, baby.
Okay. So I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.